Hey everyone, welcome to Amplify Texas Literacy Program HQIM Deep Dive Session 1. If you are a 3rd through 5th grade teacher and you teach Amplify at Bloom, you're at the right spot. All right, so what you're going to need is you're going to have to pause your this video in order to grab a couple important things. One, the guided notes that's linked in this same handout that you access this video. Two, you're going to identify an upcoming lesson that you have not internalized yet. It could be for next week, or maybe you want to look at a lesson for tomorrow that you've internalized, but you just want to dive a little bit deeper. I would recommend printing this out first so that you can annotate specific parts of it. So go ahead and pause this video and grab those materials. All right. So for a second, just skim your eyes through the outcome of this session. Now remember, today is only session 1 of 2, so it's part 1 of 2. You will then, after this, go to the HQM deep dive number 2 if you have time. So quickly, what are research-based instructional strategies? Some of you might be sitting here, I'm super familiar with this. Some of you are sitting here like, what are Arby's? Is that a roast beef sandwich? Absolutely not. So quickly, go ahead and look at Arby's R in the left column first. So the one thing that stands out to me that I think it's super important that we zoom in on is the first bullet, specifically the term research-based practices. Oftentimes, I cannot tell you how many times that we have all used strategies or materials that actually never ended up growing anyone. And so today, we're going to be digging a little bit deeper on research-based practices that do have a lot of science and data backed that does show growth for all students. So what are RBs what are they not? What are some misconceptions? Go ahead and read the 2 bullet points quickly on the right. All right. So what are essential best practices in literacy instruction? So we want to make sure that regardless of where students walk in, they all experience these 4 RBs every day, all day. The first one is foundational skills, explicit systematic practice with literacy foundational skills. That could be fluency practice. That could be supporting them with multisyllabic words with 3-5. Number 2, text complexity, regular practice with grade level complex text in its academic language. Again, regardless of level or where their data point is, all students deserve to be constantly diving into complex text within their grade level. RB's number 3, knowledge coherence. This is when we have learned a lot of science around building background and how essential it is for students to actually understand their upcoming text. And again, down below, it says through text in all content areas. So this is where we see a lot of teachers that will connect social studies content to any kind of upcoming module for literacy, science content. So all content areas, building background so that they can comprehend texts to a deeper level. Last, text-based responses. So gone are the days when we see prompts that require no text. This is like, we really need to ensure that your question requires students to go back in the text and provide evidence for both literary and informational. So let's dig into the RB's connections within your HQIM. So again, this is when you're going to need your lesson in hand for you to be able to make connections on some of these components. So in grades 3 through 5, RB's 1 is targeted with the use of readers. The readers allow students the opportunity for that in-context practice with newly developed foundational skills that are taught in spelling and grammar. So read alouds are designed to build listening comprehension. Reading the text prior to instruction is important, and many of the stories are new and may require additional prep, such as pronunciation practice. It's important for teachers to know that while you see speaking and listening TEKS across 3rd through 5th, the read alouds are only in K3. In 3rd grade, you will see the read alouds in the lesson at a glance, and you will not see them in 4th and 5th grade. However, there may be portions of the 4th and 5th grade lessons for the teachers to read aloud to students, making sure that students are also tracking the text as the teacher reads. So this component connects with the RB's text complexity as it provides students with a regular practice. So I want you to go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to take some time and look through your lesson that you brought today and look through the reading portion. You can also access it online. So let's take 3 minutes, pause this video, and look at the reading portion. So while going through your teacher guide, you will notice that the reading segment of the lesson is not only read by the teacher. The guide will tell you what you are reading aloud, what they are reading aloud, and what you all will read together. The reading is scaffolded in which students are required to read the text themselves. This exposes students to vocabulary and grade level text, and I know it might be challenging for students, but we encourage productive struggle. So I want you to take 3 minutes and go through your teacher guide again. In the reading segment of a upcoming lesson, I want you to annotate where they identify the reading scaffold you may find. Now, the third RB's, knowledge coherence. This amplifies the need for literacy instruction to build knowledge and vocabulary through text in all content areas. So, word work sections embeds this strategy. And this, the word work opportunities, provides explicit instruction on Tier 2 vocabulary words. This is authentic and repetitive practice of high leverage words that students will encounter with their reading and eventually will be able to add to their speaking repertoire. This instruction strategy may differ from previous vocab instructional lessons. However, the consistency and fidelity of the instruction are essential. So I want you to take some time now and look through the vocab in your lesson. What words are students learning? What is the impact of the daily word work that has on student classroom experience? So pause this video. All right, in every unit, you will find check for understanding and exit tickets. You will notice here that the check for understanding and the exit tickets consists of the same question. This is done intentionally to assess students' understanding either verbal or written. Now, this connects to RB's 4, text-based responses, since it provides students opportunities to respond using text evidence, both oral and written. So pause now and take some time to look through the check for understandings and exit ticket. I would be annotating this. This is part of your lesson protocol as well. How is this method of checking for understanding beneficial for students? Now we're going to spend some time deep diving in the upcoming lesson. We will take about 12 minutes to deep dive the lesson that you brought, and you can choose to start your internalization process with this lesson and annotate while you do so. But while you do that, I want you to consider the question, which of these lesson components do you want to dig in a little bit deeper? So pause this video for 12 minutes and start internalizing the lesson. So again, this is just part 1 of HQIM Deep Dive 1 and 2. Let's synthesize your learning. Now your next steps. From today's HQIM Deep Dive Session 1, you are going to complete the exit ticket that is linked into the specific PD Bloom dashboard. Please make sure that you type your name, your first and last name, you connect it to Bloom, and also I want you to make sure that you, for when it says provider, please make sure that you scroll below ESC and find Achievement Network. That is who Bloom is connected to as the provider. Again, Achievement Network. All right, well, have a wonderful rest of your lesson internalization planning. And I can't wait for you to attend the HQIM Deep Dive Part 2.